Hi everyone, so today we'll be doing a stock analysis in Sibanye Stillwater, ticker SBSW, and it's a global metal mining company. Let's get started. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm just doing my own little research. Up to you to make your own decision. So as a summary, we'll start with the company profile, then the fundamental analysis, then the technical analysis, the price catalyst, so that's platinum, palladium and rhodium. We'll do analysis on it, compare with the stock price, and then finally end up with a conclusion. So Sibanye Stillwater started as a gold producer and is now a multinational mining and metal processing group with a diverse portfolio of operation, projects, and investment across 5 continents. So we'll see a bit more detail later about that. The group is also one of the foremost global recyclers of PGM autocatalysts and has interest in leading mine tailing retreatment operation. And then on top of that, it has begun to diversify their asset into battery metals. So the company is one of the world's largest primary producers of platinum, palladium, rhodium, and gold. It also produces and refines iridium, ruthenium. So those ones are found usually with platinum and palladium, and then nickel, chrome, copper, and cobalt. Before looking at the company slides, couple of slides that I found, I wanted to go through that. So PGMs, what are PGMs? So it's platinum group metals, and it's mainly composed of 6 metal, and that is ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, and platinum. So they have very a similar physical and chemical properties, and they usually found in the same deposits. So looking at a page on their website, I noticed that they seems to be loving to acquire a lot of different projects. So as you can see in this area, since 2021 they've been trying to grow into acquiring a lot of different projects. So I won't really go into all of those, but as you can see in there, something that I thought was very important to share is that their production is mainly PGMs, so the thing we just talked about in the previous slide, which means mainly platinum, palladium, and rhodium. So those are very important part of their production, and gold. So as you can see in there, this in my opinion is the most important of their production, to try to summarize what they really do. And then from there you can see as well that mineral reserve and resource. So the reserve is what they already could get pretty easily, and resources if they were to invest more money to mine those. So as you can see, the reserve, it seems to be really focused on PGMs. It's nearly, if I'm not mistaken, something like 80% with gold, but mainly those. And then the resource is fairly similar as well, around the same percentage. So I won't go in too much detail in this slide, but I wanted to show you guys what they produce with the PGMs and with gold, who are the clients. So for the PGM market, so it's mainly focused on the West, so mainly Europe, USA, Japan, and then they send it more some sort of powder or primary use, but then after it's done, it's used to produce autocatalysts. So in there, jewelry, chemical industry, glass manufacture, electrical industry, and medical applications. And for the gold, it's mainly for jewelry for India and China, central banks, investments institutions, and then like nanotechnology. So here are all the projects that they have. So it's very like diversified. You can clearly see that they are projects pretty much all over the world. So if you want to see a bit more about that, you have the link in there. What I found interesting in their website is so in the history is that in 2013, when they started with only a gold company, they had like 1.2 billion market cap, and then like in 2024 now they have 3.3 billion, which is actually only so 2.7 right now. So they have only 2.7 billion, and since then they have acquired a lot of many like projects, and I would say to me I'm a bit surprised that they, with all the things they acquired, their market cap hasn't increased, which can be good but at the same time concerning at the same time. So we have more value today, but why is it not raising like market cap? Because it's a bit concerning in a way. So let's have a look at the fundamental now, and then like as you can see, the market cap is 2.7 billion like I said earlier. So the PE looks very low at the moment, which is good, but the forward maybe a bit less, so we're gonna have a look at that later. Then the price to sales is pretty low. Price to book is a little bit higher than I like. I always like under 1, which make it more safe, but you know, like 1.1 is really close. And like I mean, like enterprise value to revenue and to EBITDA is really low, like really low. So let's have a look further. So let's have a look at the financial highlights, and for like from Yo Finance, and so something that I'm a bit confused with the fact that in there it shows the income statement is that the net income is negative. So I wonder how they could have a like a PE ratio for this year. So I'm not too sure which one, but yeah, that for last year has been a little bit like negative. Then the cash, so they have quite a lot of cash, but then they have quite a lot of debt as well. So in there, I don't think it's really concerning because it's covering most of it, but it's just like, you know, would be nice if they can start paying back their debt. I think they have a lot of debt because they've acquired a lot of projects, and then like by doing that, obviously it's increased potentially their debt if they don't use the production or like sales or income that they have. So one thing, so like the 5 billion leverage free cash flow, that sounds like reasonable. I mean, I'm guessing it won't take that long to pay back all the debt considering they have a lot of cash. And then something I wanted to point out that is quite important, I always like to see, is the percentage of held by insiders. In this case, I don't think it's 0-0, but from what I've seen, it's pretty close. So they don't really have much ownership considering the market cap of 3 billion. I always don't really like when it's low like this, and I'm a bit surprised that the institutions are only 15%. I mean, like, it means nothing, could be good or bad, but just like always like to have a bit more insiders ownership than that. And it seems to have quite a bit of short, not huge, but a little bit. And yeah, that's about it. So this is the cash flow. So I just wanted to show one thing in here, is that like the free cash flow in 2020 and 2021 was pretty good, and after in 2022 and 2023 you could see that it's got a bit worse. I can explain that later with the price of commodities, and it will make sense. So looking at the balance sheet, we can see that the major thing I wanted to share is the fact that they haven't really modified much their shares, so they've been quite like stable. So that at least is a good thing, because if they were like using like dilution to acquire more project, I would be a bit more concerned, but at least they haven't really done that. So it seems like they finance it through mainly like loans. So as you can see, liabilities has been increasing almost every year, so I think they're really focusing on growth for sure. and like, but the equity at the moment is bit like pretty much not that great. So I hope with the debt reduced, it will actually improve. But I always like to have an equity like rising, and it's not really happening. So yeah, that's about it in here. Oh, the last thing I wanted to talk is the debt. So you can see total debt here has been increasing. So that shows that they've been acquiring a lot of projects. So now I have to see whether they can actually convert that into like income. So right now we are looking at the technical analysis for the stock, so SBSW. So I mean, like, as you can see in there, they've been like pretty much going nowhere and it's been like rising, and then after going back down, and then rising again, and then like going back down. So it's like it's a pretty much a cyclical stock, and you can clearly see. And like right now it's not at the bottom yet to the 2016, but not far. I mean, it's definitely on the downtrend. There's nothing to be even thinking twice. And right now, like, we have to see whether it creates a bottom or not, like something like this, like that, and then start rising and then go like that. So honestly, it's very early. I wouldn't be surprised just fall back less than 3 or something like that. So I mean, definitely to me is to keep it a bit on the side and maybe start adding a little bit if I was interested. I'm not too sure at the moment, actually. I'm just like in between, but it looks interesting. Let's just keep following it and see how it goes. So I've hidden my camera so you guys can see all the chart in there, but these are the charts for platinum, palladium, and rhodium. So in the platinum, in there's like not much happening. It's been going sideways like since 2015 pretty much. I mean, little upside, so it might be showing that there's a sign that it might go up, but it's been just trying and just going nowhere. Maybe someday. But I think what made the company move quite a bit was the price of like palladium and rhodium. So as you can see in 2020 in there, and then in there around 2020 2021 up to 2022, or barely, no, 2021 2022, that was when the price was the highest. So in there you can clearly see that it matched with the stock price that I was showing you guys earlier. So that's to show that it's definitely impacting the company, at least for the last cycle. So let's see how it goes. So to conclude, I want to say that the main advantages are the fact that the company is very diversified. So they have a lot of projects worldwide, and then like in PGMs, gold, and even some other metals like zinc, cobalt, and all that. Even though they are more into PGMs, they still diversify, and the fundamental is quite good. They haven't used dilution, and they've used debt to acquire more projects. So I don't mind that. I think it's a good thing, honestly. So now the risk, I would say, is it's still dependent on PGM. So if PGMs rise, so that means like I just look at palladium, platinum, and rhodium, but I would say that if those price of those commodities rise significantly, I think they would do extremely well. But at the moment they are not, so I expect they'll be a bit like the stock will not go anywhere or even down slightly. So when those commodity price increase, that's when it's going to be quite interesting to be in the company. The second thing I want to say is that their debt is a bit high, so it's been increasing with all the projects. So I just like that they acquire, but at the same time I'm a bit confused that they acquired a lot of projects in very different like areas. This I'm just not sure where they're trying to go. Like it seems to want to go green and like kind of follow a political view, and I'm not sure if I like that personally. Not that it's good or bad, it's just that they seem to have a few directions and not too sure where they're going, considering they're very diversified. Anyways, something that could be a risk or an advantage both ways. And then the last part is the low insider ownership. There's little to add to that. I mean, to me, I always like when they have a bit more, but you know, like that's something to consider as a risk. So that's it. I hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one. Thank you.